30 million people. 30 million people, both men and women in the US alone, suffer from an eating disorder. I think it's safe to say that a majority of us, including myself, care about how our body looks like and how we feel. So my purpose here is to inform you all on the 3 most common eating disorders in the US, along with their symptoms and effects of them. I've done my research for the past month and a half on them, so I can inform you all. To start off, the first disorder is called anorexia nervosa. Anorexia nervosa is characterized by weight loss or lack of appropriate weight in a human. According to the National Eating Disorder Association, although the disorder most frequently begins during adolescence, an increasing number of children and older adults are also being diagnosed with anorexia. Now, it's not only the small people that are being diagnosed with anorexia. Larger bodied people can also be diagnosed. It's not just the small, skinny people. Some of the symptoms of a person having anorexia include dramatic weight loss. They start to overdress to hide their body. They create food rituals, meaning they have a time and a date of and how much they will eat in a week or a day. They also start getting very cold because their body is lacking natural body heat. And they also get very dizzy at any sudden movement. Example, they can get dizzy, they get lightheaded if they get up from a chair fast. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, the website under section of eating disorders, anorexia nervosa has the highest mortality rate of any mental disorder. The next most common disorder is bulimia. Now, the National Eating Disorder Association defines bulimia nervosa as an eating disorder characterized by a cycle of binging and behaviors such as self-induced vomiting. And according to the National Institute of Mental Health, the website under subsection titled bulimia nervosa, they say the behaviors followed after binging compensates for the overeating. Example, they run off to the bathroom after they eat. Another behavior includes them skipping meals. The National Eating Disorder Association website states that bulimia is a serious and potentially life-threatening eating disorder. Some of the warning signs of a person having bulimia includes them skipping meals. They leave straight after a meal. They also have a dramatic weight loss along with anorexia. They also create food rituals and they have mood swings. Now, the last and most commonly diagnosed eating disorder in the US is binge eating disorder. And binge eating disorder is losing control over eating habits. The subsection of binge eating disorder under the National Institute of Mental Health website says people with binge eating disorder are often overweight or obese. And it is the most common disorder in the US. Now, some of the symptoms of binge eating disorder is a person eating large amounts of food. They eat that large amount in one sitting. They eat until they're uncomfortably full. They get very distressed when they eat. And along with the last 2 disorders, they also create food rituals and they only eat in one time period. And some of the effects of binge eating disorder is them being overweight or obese. And the National Eating Disorder Association states that of individuals with binge eating disorders, only 2/3 are labeled clinically obese. So if a person's already obese, that doesn't mean that they have binge eating disorder. But if they do have binge eating disorder, then they are obese or overweight, most of them. Now that I have informed you all three on the 3 most common disorders, it's time to slow down the speech. I hope that I have educated you all enough on the 3 most common disorders, and I hope I have expanded your knowledge on them. I have explained bulimia, anorexia, and binge eating disorders, along with their effects and the symptoms. And one last thing. Please be aware of the symptoms and warning signs of someone potentially having an eating disorder. You could be saving a life.